Good morning, and welcome to this virtual gathering of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond. My name is Suzanne Short, and I am pleased to be serving this community on its board of directors. As we begin a second fall season of being unable to safely meet together in person, I wish to thank you for continuing to take the time to honor our connections in the ways that we have available until we are all able to be together again in beloved community. If you are a visitor here today, we are so glad that you found us. We thank you for spending time with us and hope you will come again soon. Our church was begun in 1833 as a liberal Christian community. We are now a community of many faith journeys and beliefs, guided not by a creed, but by a covenant to uphold shared principles marked by love, respect, and justice. Our faith community continues to work to put our UU principles and values into action to build beloved community and serve the purpose of justice for all here in the Richmond community, our Commonwealth, and beyond. We welcome you to live these principles with us as you continue your faith journey. We welcome you with all your diverse identities as a whole, multifaceted, and beloved person. If you are a visitor here today or new to Unitarian Universalism and would like to learn more about our faith and our community, we invite you to check out our website, join our Facebook group, and reach out to us by email at membership@richmonduu.org. We hope you will join us at our virtual coffee hour following this morning's service through a separate Zoom link available in Saturday's email and our Facebook site. Coffee Hour provides a time for us to make connections with fellow church members, and if you are new to First UU or a visitor here today, a chance for us to get to know you better and a chance for you to get to know us. I would also encourage church members and visitors to check out the Sunday morning service announcements 5 to 10 minutes before the beginning of the service. I would also encourage you to look at our weekly First News Weekly. It's a great way to find out, stay informed of what's happening in the church community and ways that you can become involved and reach out to different groups within our church. Again, welcome to this joyful Sunday, made sacred by all of us being together, worshiping, and sharing our time with each other.
Hi, I am Larry Kruger with First UU, and I want to talk about RISC and how it appeals to me because of the action that they are taking to address gun violence in the Richmond area. As a resident in the South Side, I frequently hear gunshots and have been extremely close to a shooting that occurred in front of our house that ended tragically in the death of 2 men as their car crashed into a ravine. And I also live up the road from the shooting at Carter Jones Park that ended tragically for a young girl at a picnic. I have personally engaged in RISC discussions within our Justice Ministry network with other member congregations on the issues of gun violence and housing evictions, as well as participating in the discussion with our district council member to gain her support and commitment to implement the solutions that we were planning to propose at the Nehemiah Action, such as the group violence intervention that has been proven to work in many cities across the US by cutting homicides in half. Through building the power of an organized community, we can transform the Richmond area such that justice can be realized for everyone.
Hi, First UU friends. I'm Ginger Clark, and I wanted to talk to you for just a minute today about why I'm involved with RISC. It is about community. It's about finding solutions. I've seen gains made in the areas of education, of evictions and housing, and of gun control since I've been there. And this group is tremendous at bringing together a lot of cared, concerned citizens to put pressure on officials, city leaders, county officials, school administrators, whoever needs to know. And they have already done the research. You can be involved in that process in finding out what problems there are and then devising solutions and helping people understand how we can make change in our community.
Good morning. My name is Janet Goen, a member of First UU. I joined RISC when Diana Donald called and spoke about the need for additional members for the multi-faith communities to gather in support of the Nehemiah action. RISC focuses on two great areas of concern in this city of Richmond: affordable housing and gun violence. I concentrated on affordable housing and learned much about the limited availability of affordable housing and the political compromises that so drastically affect the underserved in our Richmond area. During the Nehemiah action, it was so powerful to see hundreds of committed citizens who spanned the religious spectrum. I am grateful to be a part of this important organization. Our leaders, like Steve Salzberg, are amazing, so committed and truly concerned with the welfare of our community. I have gladly joined RISC, giving time and financial support. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kate Barrett, and I'm a 71-year-old retired social worker. Today, I have little patience for most meetings. In fact, I have less patience for sitting around and talking about issues without ever implementing constructive changes. But perhaps the thing that gets me most is being in a group of privileged people like myself, sitting around and opining without research, without experience, about how the world should be different. So why does a person like me participate in RISC? Well, because it's the antithesis of all those things. RISC is an intentional group of people from varying racial, socioeconomic, and religious backgrounds. We together identify real-life problems in the Richmond area. We research successful programs used elsewhere. Then we gather together, more than 1,000 of us, before elected officials and other decision makers, and we present data-driven solutions. Basically, we come together and we speak truth to power. Haven't you always wanted to do that? Our diversity, our numbers, and our proven models make RISC hard for decision makers to ignore. So ultimately, why do I love RISC? I love RISC because it works.
You've now heard from members of the RISC team about why RISC has been, for many of them, something very meaningful, something well-researched, and something that involves them in the doing, speaking truth to power. We're grateful, and we're grateful for the leadership that many of our folks have lent not only to the church's RISC program, but to RISC in general, offering themselves repeatedly to do a lot of the very difficult work. Today, we want to commission those leaders who will be a part of the coming year's RISC effort on behalf of our congregation. That's Fran Brune and Alice Marshall. It's Ginger Clark. It's Jeff Clark. Diana Donald, Autumn Furr, Dorothy Holohan, Terd Merriman, and of course, Stephen Salzberg, whose idea it was to bring RISC to our congregation. Please join me now as we commission these leaders to begin a new year of great effectiveness for gathering the community together. Spirit of love and of life, we beg strength, purpose, resolve, and our support be placed in the hands of these leaders. May they take the message of love and inclusion from this congregation forward to the community of RISC. May their words inspire, may their invitations compel us, may we all come to feel a part of the work that is being done and responsible for its outcome. Blessings on all of our leaders and all involved in RISC as we come into the 2021-22 year.
Good morning. We kindle this flame during the days of awe, the holy window between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. May we move into this new year with brave humility, turning ever towards love to sweeten life's harshest moments. May we open ourselves to the holy within us and among us, inviting Spirit to guide us as the wheel of the year turns. And may we cradle the call of justice, aligning our hearts with this sacred duty as the seasons change and the world spins on. Today's service is a creative collaboration in honor of the Jewish High Holidays, brought to you by the Jewish Lives of UU, a Jewish identity group here at First UU Richmond. Last week, Jews observed Rosh Hashanah, the head of the Jewish year and a celebration of the birthday of the world. The holiday of Rosh Hashanah is not just a new year for the Jewish people, but it's a holiday for us all. It's the birthday of the entire world. 10 days after Rosh Hashanah is the holiday of Yom Kippur. The window between the two is known as the days of awe. This period of high holy days aligns with the autumn harvest and is a time for us to communally harvest the happenings of the year gone by, to take inventory, make needed repairs, and prepare ourselves to keep growing in the year ahead. This morning, one of the things we take inventory of is the memory of 9/11 on its 20th anniversary. As we move into our time of worship, we dedicate today's service to all of the lives that have been lost or impacted over the past 20 years of war. During the days of awe, we rededicate ourselves to teshuvah, or turning towards the holy, tefillah, deepening in conversation with that great mystery through prayer, and tzedakah, righteous action. With teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah, on this birthday of the world, ever turning, may we remember our agency as creative beings and begin again each day, ever turning towards love.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace. A time you may embrace, a time to realize everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven.
This is one of the readings from the Reformed Judaism website describing the Jewish New Year. Let's celebrate creation. Rosh Hashanah marks the anniversary of the world's creation, and in addition to the themes of repentance, self-reflection, and prayer that traditionally permeate the season, it can also be a time to mark and celebrate God's work in creating the world. From the pressing global crisis of climate change to advocacy on clean water and food justice, we are heirs to a tradition of stewardship and partnership in the ongoing work of creation that goes back to Genesis. I like that. It's different. Our job, our role living on this planet is to protect it. Thus, Rosh Hashanah shines a light on environmental justice. Environmental justice is an issue that, for us at First JLUU, is an ongoing issue. And it's the newest issue taken on by RISC, making our ongoing work of creation a community effort that we can all participate in.
Speaking of climate change, natural disasters, and the need for repair, our Share the Plate donations for the month of September will support disaster relief in Haiti. Just a month ago, Haitians experienced a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, which caused thousands to lose their lives and destroyed more than 60,000 homes. Hospitals, bridges, and roads are in dire need of repair. Haitians need our support. Luckily, our Unitarian Universalist Service Committee has provided a way for us to do that. Our Share the Plate donations will benefit the UU Service Committee and Haiti for the entire month of September. Let's join together and give generously to support the holy work of community repair and disaster relief.
May the one who brings peace to the heavens bring peace to us all.
Oh, say shalom in Ramah. Booyah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'amu Yisrael. In
This prayer is offered for us all during the days of awe. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed, that this year people will live and die, some more gently than others, and nothing lives forever. But amidst overwhelming forces of nature and humankind, we still write our own book of life, and our actions are the words in it, and the stages of our lives are the chapters, and nothing goes unrecorded, ever. Every deed counts. Everything you do matters. And we need never know what act or word will leave an impression or tip the scale. So, if not now, when? For the things we can change, there is teshuvah, realignment. For the things we cannot change, there is tefillah, prayer. For the help we can give, there is tzedakah, justice. Together, let us write a beautiful book of life for the Holy One to read.
This woman's prayer is taken from a book given to me on the occasion of my confirmation. It's called The Jewish Home Beautiful. Give heed to the blast of the shofar, the shrill, quivering notes of the shofar, sounding its message of warning, its cry of alarm and awakening, urging us to work with our brothers to combat the ills that beset man. Accept ye the challenge to triumph over forces of wrath and destruction. Remove from our midst crime and warfare, all poverty, greed, and contention. Heed ye the sound of the shofar, the blast that is blown, O my people. Preparing for Rosh Hashanah over my lifetime has brought feelings of joy and excitement. I look forward to the idea of the new year and the hope of fresh beginnings. My family celebrated the holiday by attending services in the synagogue. We awaited the blasts of the shofar or ram's horn, which ushered in the new year. We ate apples and honey cake to ensure a sweet new year. This period was followed by a time of introspection as we got ready for Yom Kippur, the holiest of holidays. At this time, we asked for forgiveness from others and attempted to forgive ourselves for any past harm we may have inflicted over the past year. Being written into the book of life has always been a comforting affirmation for me. Finally, hearing the music of the Kol Nidre allowed the solemnity of the holiday to reach my heart. Today, At 3 p.m., I will be calling Portugal to talk with my 2 grandchildren who live there. We will be eating apples and honey over the pond together to celebrate Rosh Hashanah.
Growing up, the Jewish high holidays were a part of my life. The high holidays coming in the fall meant the excitement of going back to school, starting a new grade, seeing many friends who I hadn't seen all summer. The time also meant new clothes, apples and honey, and round loaves of challah bread. I was always told that Rosh Hashanah was the beginning of the Jewish New Year, and that Yom Kippur was the holiest of holidays. I would attend services with my parents, and the chanting of the Yom Kippur Kol Nidre chant, the special music played on the eve of Yom Kippur, was always a time to reflect. After my dad died, I tried to be with my mom during these high holidays. One of my greatest joys was joining my mother and her choir in the singing of the Kol Nidre. As I grew older, there were lessons that became a part of me. One is that on Yom Kippur, when we recite the litany of our sins, the emphasis is on the word we. Each confession begins with the word Ashenu, or we. We are a collection of a community, and we bear the burdens of our mistakes together. On Yom Kippur, many fast. To me, fasting means that by depriving the body of food, one should remember people in our world go to bed hungry, and many are hurting in so many ways. The high holidays are a time to reflect on how we can work together to make the world better for all.
We begin again in love, for remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible, for each time we have struck out in anger without just cause.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others, for falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For the selfishness that set us apart and alone, for losing sight of our unity.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again.
Telling a story to get a point across is something that has always appealed to me and is used a lot by rabbis that I've known. This is a story I found related to asking for forgiveness from those you have hurt, which is important to me to do during the time between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Professor Abraham Joshua Heschel, visiting in Germany in the 1950s, was asked the question, when would the Jews forgive the Nazis? Rabbi Heschel told the following story. There once was a rabbi traveling on a train through Russia. He was shabbily dressed and small in stature and was sitting in a railroad car studying the Mishnah. Two Poles began to make fun of him and deride him. They cursed him, and the rabbi did not reply to them, continuing to study the Mishnah. Then they took his suitcase and threw it on the floor. The rabbi maintained his composure, did not rebuke them, gathered all his belongings and put them back in the suitcase. They continued to harass him. When they reached the town where the rabbi was going, a large crowd was waiting for some important dignitary. The two Poles discovered to their amazement that the little old Jew who they were taunting was an esteemed and revered rabbi. They later asked him to forgive them for their taunts and jeers. The rabbi said, "You are asking the rabbi to forgive you, not the little old Jew who was in the railroad car. You have to ask him to forgive you. He is the one you injured by your insults and your jeers." That was Dr. Heschel's answers to the Germans that day. Only the victims can forgive. We do not have a proxy vote to forgive in their stead.
Have you ever heard the saying, live with no regrets? This is a saying that has never really worked for me. And I believe that it's because of my relationship with Judaism and the high holy days, the days of awe and Yom Kippur. To me, I would never want to live without regret, because regret is a sign that I love. When I regret something that I've done that's caused harm, when I have remorse over some way that I messed up, or some way that we've collectively fallen short, that's a sign of my love. That's a sign of me wanting to align with the holy, to make amends, to do better, to treat one another more kindly, to move into relationship with a higher way of being, and to grow. So I don't strive to live without regret, but I look forward to combing through my heart, searching for the things that I do regret, and making amends, trying to repair, asking for forgiveness to those who I've harmed, searching inside and wondering, what do we collectively need to ask for forgiveness for? What do we need to feel sorry for? And how might we move forward? How might those feelings inform us in moving forward differently, in greater love? This is what the days of awe and Yom Kippur mean to me.
The sang at the break of day. Start again. I heard them say, don't dwell on what has passed away or what is yet to be. The wars are fought, they will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be caught again, bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. We asked for signs, and the signs were sent. The birth betrayed, and the marriage spent. Yeah, and the widowhood of every government. Signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd, while the killers in high places say their prayers out loud. But they've summoned up a thundercloud. They're gonna hear from me. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can add up the parts, but you won't have the sum. You can strike up the march, but there is no drum. Every heart to love will come, but like a refugee. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. Yeah, there's a crack
Let them go like birds released from cages. Let them go like fruit rinds giving themselves to the soil. Let them go like pebbles rolling away underfoot on a steep trail. Let them go like crumbs scattered for pigeons. Let them go like sweat dripping from our brows. If we have messed up, let it go. Let it go into the great compost heap and become the nutrients for new seeds, intentions, blessings, pink blossomed, azure, ripe with tender food. If others have hurt us, let clean water irrigate the wounds and let the runoff water effortless gardens that spring up between the furrows of sleeping fields, between the cracks of unswept sidewalks, take over the untended lawns. Let grudges crumble to dust. Let shame dissolve into loam. Let each harsh word we hurl at ourselves be turned into petals before they land. Let everything, all of it, be recycled. Let the trash become jewels we string into necklaces and drape around each other's necks. Let us enter the year of fallows, burdenless. Loose-limbed, lie down on the dark earth, do nothing. Let tiny rootlets emerge from our fingers. Let ourselves be covered in moss. And instead of doing, become the sapling students of the elder trees and be ourselves into the new year and be ourselves toward the new world that waits like an autumn bulb packed with unimagined colors, ready to wake and bloom just under the skin of what is.
Today, as we extinguish the chalice, may we be reminded that, like the autumn leaves falling as the world prepares for a timeout, that we have within us the seeds to make our world a world of peace and comfort to all.
Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akulam. Salam Aleinu. May peace come unto us. Oh, may peace come unto us. Oh, may peace